that time we were growing our own trees as well. Since then we've been getting them from nurseries, and I've spent a fair bit of time with them, and we're actually getting them to do all the training work from halfway down the block onwards there from the nursery. But they've delivered us a tree that's already perfectly spaced for that 75 metre space, 2 limbs that are this sort of height. And our idea is to to hopefully get away with our tree training, which is a big cost in itself, and we're using 2 trees for the one tree for the 2, so that's a saving in itself as well. So that there's planned at 1,900 trees a hectare, but it's really 3,800 with a similar. It's going to be a similar system to this where there's 2. But because of the stakes, everything's measured, everything's pretty precise. If you look across, all the stakes are pretty perfect. So this one here was done by eye, so that some spaces are 1.20 m, some are 70 centimetres. This is all pretty, because we're down to 70, it had to be pretty spot on. And yeah, we just hope just growing just softwood, no sub branches at all, just all nice soft stuff, with the future plan to be able to just wall prune it with a machine.
What rootstock, Jason?
This is 26. Like if I had my preference, it would be 9, but that's the hardest thing about growing fruit trees. You have to decide 3 years before you put it in the ground, which is 3 years before you get say 6 years beforehand. You have to decide what you want. I've done it because I think a twin leader is going to become a tree. What I've seen on over in Europe where they've done it, the more growing points that you have that are shooting out branches, the smaller the branches are.
Key is really, if you do, they call it biobome, okay, that means nothing else than 2 trees. But the idea is that you really see it as 2 trees, okay, not one.
Yeah.
One rootstock, 2 trees.
The thing I would say is people complain about nurseries and says they won't do what you want. I went and seen all the nurseries 4 times in the year, for 2 years straight, and I got a tree that was exactly that I wanted.
They are able to do it. If you really want to, you can actually really get the trees, but still want rods and other people don't, and that's a big issue. You have bad trees.
Exactly what Jason's saying,
Yep.
Give them the specifications, and it's up to yourself whether you accept them or not.
Yep.
The fruit, there would never be any production difference. It just means that we have to go up to that top line. Where if we didn't, we'd be going to the next buyer.
But you can have